Many people think that by signing a living trust document, their trust is automatically in effect, and all of their beneficiaries are set to receive the intended property. However, creating a living trust document is only the first step towards setting up a trust, a process that involves retitling of property and adjusting beneficiaries of certain accounts. In this video, we'll discuss how to fund a trust by going over what a living trust is and does, the basics of funding a trust, how to fund a trust with real and personal property, and much more relevant information. Before we start, we published an extensive article discussing all matters of trust funding in great detail. If you wish to learn more after watching the video, be sure to click the link below. First, let's briefly review some common questions surrounding what is a living trust. A living trust is a deposit account owned by one or more individuals, expressing that all deposited funds and assets are to be passed to the intended beneficiaries upon the owner's death. The owner of the trust, known as the grantor, can deposit monetary funds as well as real and personal property into the account throughout their lifetime. Now, there are two kinds of trusts: revocable versus irrevocable trusts. For one, irrevocable trusts may not be changed or terminated, except on extremely rare occasions. In contrast, a revocable living trust can in fact be amended or otherwise disseminated. Other notable difference pertains to ownership of trust assets. A grantor with a revocable trust legally owns those assets and may claim them in personal taxes, whereas a grantor of an irrevocable trust does not have legal ownership of the trust's assets. Despite these distinctions, the two types are largely funded in similar ways. The basics of funding a trust. A trust fund is best thought of as a deposit account. All assets, property, and financial holdings can be placed into the fund for beneficiaries to receive after the grantor's death. As noted, creating and executing a living trust document is only the first step in a more complex process. The grantor must also fund the trust that they set up by depositing assets on the account. There are essentially two methods in which a grantor can fund their trust. Throughout their lifetime, using this form of financing the account, the grantor can transfer assets or property to the trust fund effective immediately and while they're still alive, or unfunded until death or incapacitation. The grantor may choose to maintain the trust unfunded until their death. This is often done through retitling property with provisions stating it takes effect only upon the grantor's death. Now, what can be transferred into a trust? In short, almost everything with monetary or emotional value can be placed into a trust fund. Most grantors prioritize highly valued assets when transferring ownership from their name to that of a trust. A common asset conveyed into trust is real estate. Real property not in a trust can face probate at the time of the owner's death. To avoid this, owners usually transfer the property to an existing or newly formed living trust by way of a quitclaim deed, warranty deed, or transfer on death deed. Preparing a new deed enables the transfer of ownership from the grantor to the trust, all while allowing the owner to maintain control of the property. Vehicles and boats. Motorized vehicles and boats with active titles can also be shifted to the trust. This process, much like real estate, involves the owner initiating a title transfer in which ownership of the property moves from their name to their trust. For vehicles, a title change can typically be done through the guidance of a local Department of Motor Vehicles. The same goes for boats. What else can be transferred into a trust? This list is all-embracing, but other assets that can be transferred include untitled property such as jewelry, computer hardware, artworks, and clothes, public or privately held stocks, bonds, or other securities, life insurance and retirement accounts, and business interests. For more information on funding your trust and the assets applicable for transference, check out our published article in which we take a closer, more in-depth look. We're eForms, the largest database of legal documents. We've created fillable living trust documents that are quick and simple to make. Click on the link below to start planning your estate by setting up your very own trust fund. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily videos.